Hey guys, what is going on? Clay here with Vision TCG, and today I just got a little deck profile of the deck I took to an OTS championship and was able to get second place with. So the reasoning behind why I chose to play Exosister, I've just been occupied with work, and then I've been occupied with school and all that, as well as playing like Pokemon competitively. So Exo is a deck like I'm very familiar with during Terra format, and then it got recent support, and I was a big believer of the deck. After the Malice hits, like I tested Malice, it feels inconsistent, and Exosister kind of does the same thing that Malice does, but it's like very underrated, very solid. The two new cards gave the deck like better quality overall on their cards. And in testing, I didn't really lose to Draco Tail at all, because just being able to go into Abyss Dweller with a Sophia. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get first. There was a couple misplays I made game one, and then game three, I played into Nibiru when I didn't have to. It's YuGiOh. Sometimes it happens, especially with a long day of grinding with the OTS, because I played 6 rounds in total. I played 4 rounds of Swiss and then 2 rounds of Top Cut. But overall, the deck performed really well. Was possibly able to win the tournament, so that shows the caliber of the deck. And moving forward, I think this is probably the best anti-meta deck potentially of the format. It does play into full a little bit hard, but post side I have like a little cool tricks that I do to handle chummies and stuff like that. So, and you can still make like half boards on the full. Perulia is a little bit harder to play around with, but in testing, that's why like the side deck is there for it. You always want to have answers, and overall YuGiOh is a very adaptive game depending on what deck you want to play with and have fun with. So we'll get into the Exosister list. Let me give this a little bit more, yeah, straighten out. So starting off the main deck, it's pretty standard like main deck count of like 3 Martha, the 3 Ellis, the 2 Stella, 1 Sophia. Some people play 2 Stella, 2 Sophia, and 1 Irene. It depends if you want to play more Exosister monsters. For me, I was just focusing on non-engine, so that's just the standard 9. You just have to be very careful on the resources when you play a low count of Exosister monsters. It's all player preference on what you want to do. I just prefer playing hand traps in my build. Then the Spirit package of 3 Ichiki Saryu Ahime. This card is incredible. And 1 Aratama. Then the new spell, thank God they unerrated it, which was Betrayal. This card is insane. It's so custom. Just being able to add 2 Exosisters and then discard a card is just really strong. But just overall, this card was just incredible. You know, just being a piece that can enable your Exosister monsters and forcing your opponent to interact with your graveyard, which is insane, or interact with their graveyard, I mean. So really good card. Definitely is what the deck needed. 3 packs. This card is really good. A lot of people forget about the defensive effect of like, if you have the same, you know, if you have the corresponding sister in the grave or in the field, you're able to add it to hand and then special. So that's the reason why some people cut back on the other trap card, which that's what I did. I side decked the Vadis. Player preference, you can main deck Vadis, but I just wanted room to play Call by the Grave. So that's why I don't have Vadis in the main deck. It's all player preference. You can cut, you know, whatever you need to fit the Vadis. I just wanted more non-engine. So 1 Prosperity. So that's all the engine of the deck outside of the 1 Returnia. Card's incredible. Really good trap card. The reason I didn't play Vadis was, again, just Callbot. I just feel like this deck has a hard time into chummies, and like Callbot, even though you can search Vadis and you can't search Callbot, I just feel like Callbot had to be somewhere in my list, and I feel like I could get away with main decking Callbot and then side decking the Vadis. So that's what I did, because like my main play was, because you always are going to have a double set, so I would always have Returnia and a pack set on the opponent's turn. And Pax is just like a pseudo, it's not as good as Vadis, but it's a pseudo Vadis, since you're going to be adding 10 and then specialing it. So it was always a pseudo Vadis if I went first, pretty much. Then getting into non-engine, I played 18 just hand traps. I just wanted to be able to interact with my opponent. If I'm not playing the best deck, I want to play a deck that can interact really well with my opponent. Plus, this deck has an issue going second, so you just want to have as many non-engine as possible. So 3 Ash, 3 Fool, 3 Bell, 3 Purge, 3 Imperm. Let me try to get them closer over here. 2 Android Lockbird, and then 1 Shifter. The draws are really good. So technically in my deck, I have 3 Ash, 2 Drow, 1 Cobalt. These are 6 cards to deal with Chummies in the main deck. And overall, I expected with the Dark Magician stuff that recently came out that people were going to play like Yummy, Sinful Spoil, or there's going to be a lot of like decks that played into Drow, which it was correct to play the Drow. The Drow was very strong, very decent overall. Like I enjoyed main decking the Drow. Outside of that, everything feels standard. I don't think I would want to change anything else. The 3 bells were nice. I only played 1 Dracotail. I actually played in Swiss, I went 3-1, and then in Top Cut, I won semifinals and I lost the finals. All my rounds were pretty meta. You know, I played against Dracotail, I played against Making Soul K9, which was my only loss in Swiss. And I lost to Yummy Typhoon in the finals. Or not Yummy Typhoon, but Yummy Tri Brigade. All my other matches were pretty meta. They were all, you know, considered like the top 5 decks. So, getting on to side deck, there might be a little bit of spice in my side deck. 3 copies of Nibiru. This is weird in an Exosister deck because, you know, Martha is greedy, but what I was doing was like nibbing my opponent and summoning a token in attack position. So if I need to, I can just crash the Nibiru into it. A lot of people find that kind of weird, but like this card overall was incredible. Plus, people don't expect Nibiru when you play in the Exosister deck, so people will play hard into it and then you nib them and they get punished. And I needed something for Malice as well, because I expected there to be more Malice, because it's usually a Malice representative locals, but surprisingly there wasn't that many Malice. 3 Perulia, really good for MST. Their MST matchup is kind of horrendous, so you just want Perulias. And it's not technically horrendous. If you go second, you have a 45-55 matchup to it. Going first is a hard part, which we play Thunder King to try to deal with and mitigate that matchup when you go first. 2 Retailing Seas, so now we have 2 Retailing Seas and a Shifter, which is strong into the Dracotail matchup. 1 TKO, this card is incredible. I can search off the Spirit Monster, plus I'm gonna get to it. I have another way to search the TKO. Thunder King Rao was insane. I summoned it 24/7. Post side, this card pretty much won the majority of my matches. It was kind of nasty because my boards were looking like post side Di-Fi Thunder King and the full Exosister board, which was like nice. Then 3 Di-Fi. This card was my goo. It was a 2 small world. So you have many ways to bridge into every card in your deck. So the small world was incredible. I could bridge into any of my Exos. I can bridge into Hime. I can bridge into the Thunder King Rao in my side deck. So I had technically, you know, 6 Thunder Kings post side, because 2 small world, the Thunder King, and then the Hime. So, and then I did side deck the Vanish, which was pretty clutch. Then we'll get into extra deck. Extra deck isn't too spicy. There's like maybe one little thing that's different from Exosister list that I ran, but besides that, everything's pretty standard. 3 Michaelis, 2 Magnifica, the custom card, Carmel. Carmel is insane. Carmel having the effect to change a normal spell, a normal trap, or a monster effect to bounce back a card from my, you know, the opponent chooses a card from your graveyard was ridiculous. Plus, being able to set a card in end phase is really strong. I was always just leaving her on the board, post, you know, on the board, turn 1. Just incredible card, very strong. Definitely another card that the deck needed. 1 Caspatel. A lot of people played 2 Sophio, and testing only ever needed the 1, depending on how you manage your resources. But 2 is definitely, you know, correct if you have room in your extra deck. 1 Jabrine. That's your, you know, standard Exosister count. You can definitely play 2 Sophio. I think 2 is like standard. I just chose to play a different, you know, Link monster in my deck just because I wanted utility. 1 Zeus, 1 Typhon, 1 Exton. These are just very phenomenal cards, and my utility was SP and the Majesty's Link. So the Majesty's Link is there to get the secondary effect of SP to banish a card. It didn't really come up, but I know sometimes in testing or theorizing, it seemed like it would be very, you know, a very solid option, but it never came out in the tournament. But I still don't regret playing it. You can definitely make it a second Sophio. But outside of that, I definitely, you know, enjoy this card. You know, one of these days, you know, a day 2 of YCS, one day I will win or top of YCS if I am able to actually attend more, which will happen sometime soon. And that's it for the deck profile, y'all. I love this deck. This deck is phenomenal. It's amazing. The nuns are back, controlling the graveyard. I think it's the best antimatter deck in the room. Outside of that, that's it. Hopefully I'll be able to post more content, and that's it. Again, at Vision TCG, we love y'all, and like and subscribe. See y'all next time.